Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. Just want to make sure we're recording. For the week of July 7th, we're going to jump right in here. And sorry, this is a brand new deck, so it's going to be a little bit slippery. But we're going to jump right in here. You have this Go Inward card. It says, it's time to connect with your inner child. You have this card. It says, you deserve to be seen. Let yourself be known. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's... coming up for Taurus is about standing out in some way. I think that the way, what is going to make Taurus stand out is an upgrade. And so I feel like you have to upgrade something in your life. It's like we all have dreams when we're children, right? And, this is exactly what's popping into my head for you here, Taurus, is like we all have dreams when we're children. But it's like sometimes we get older and we can't live that dream for whatever reason. And I don't think this is a limitation or anything. And I don't think this is a bad thing either. I feel like it's saying, no, you need to, live the dream that you had when you were a child. You have that Go Inward, the inner child card there, right? And I feel like it's saying, intuitively, really, the message I'm getting is that there might just be some upgrades that you have to make, or you might have to, do it in a different way. It's like maybe you always thought you would be famous. But maybe you've gotten to an age where you're like, I don't think I can be famous. But again, as I've probably said to you before, based off your astrology, I know this, that, the gatekeepers are gone. Like, you can get famous on YouTube nowadays, right? And for, doing random stuff. So, reading tarot cards, right? So, again, if maybe you aren't going to be on TV, but you might be on YouTube famous or something like that. And that's what I feel for you. Is I feel like you have a dream and you just need to realize it's possible, but in a different way. You have the Page of Cups, Page of Swords, and their Ten of Pentacles. I feel like someone, a brand spanking new, has their eye on you. Literally, Taurus. I feel like you've caught someone's eye. Literally, today is July 1st. Happy July to you, Taurus, is out there. So this will be published on July 2nd. And maybe even this week, a week before the week of the 7th, maybe you have caught someone's eye. I feel like this could be a person that has seen you in public. There you go. So definitely could be new love. I also feel like you are exploring new ideas. It's kind of weird. I feel like some of you are a little bit like a vampire. You have the sun here. This is going to be random, but again, my messages usually don't make sense. There you go. That's how they get delivered, right? It's I feel like you've been like a vampire. It's you've been in your coffin. Now the sun's coming out. Although that would be a reverse vampire because vampires have to hide from the sun. Whatever, bear with me. But I feel like it's you've been tired and now you're waking up here this week. Literally, I feel literally on the day of the 7th, you could literally be feeling wide awake, ready to go. When maybe for the past couple weeks or months, maybe you've been feeling tired and things like that. It's kind of a weird message. I even feel like some of you have been going to bed early and sleeping a long time. Random stuff like that is popping into my head. Why? I don't know, but there you go. You have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is says someone has their eye on you. So number one, I definitely feel someone has their eye on you. Could be a Scorpio, Capricorn stands out to me. Earth in general. I'm pretty sure you've been getting Earth signs with me for a while here, Taurus. So if you want love, I think you've been getting Earth just in general. As always, I think the past couple of readings I've said to you, Taurus, that, it could be kind of surprising that this a person approaches you or something, but I don't know. I would go for it. You have the number 33 here, and I don't really pay attention to numbers, by the way, in tarot, for no other reason than I just don't, right? But that number 33 is standing out to me, and you also have this card number 35. So it's it could be a person who's in their mid-30s that's approaching you, or you could be in your mid-30s or something, I don't know, but it is popping into my head. Page of Swords is also your inner child. Page of Swords is my card of why, right? Children ask the question why about everything. And the Page of Swords is my card of asking questions, being curious. So I do think it would be a good time for you to be curious about the things that you're doing. I also have another weird message popping into my head. I don't know, I'm just going with it today here, Taurus. What's popping into my head is I feel like this is very specific. This might only be for a few of you, but if you are saying to yourself, I can't get anything right, these are the words that are popping into my head right now. It's if you're saying to yourself, I can't get anything right, if you're working towards something, right? I feel like what's popping into my head is that you are getting elements of what you are doing correct. I think you need to focus more on what you're getting right than what you're getting wrong. And it's like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, yes, I do think if you're like working on a goal or working on a business, it's popping into my head that you are definitely doing certain things wrong. But I think you're doing a lot right as well. And I feel if you could just figure that part of it out, you would be fine. This is like specifically for those of you that are trying to like accomplish something at this time. I think it's also interesting that he's looking over to these two cards. He has the ears wide open card and this tall tale card. The tall tale card can be like a liar, cheater, stealer, or someone who's telling a tall tale. But the ears wide open card is kind of like a card of just paying attention to everything, which I said at the beginning of 2025. I might have said it in your reading. I didn't say it to everybody, but a lot of signs got this message that 2025 would be a really good year in general to listen to what is not being said, right? Because you might pick up on an opportunity, or you might pick up on something that's important if you really listen. I think I said it to everyone that it's like a really good year to listen, and that's definitely continued to be a theme this year. And I kind of feel that here, where it's like saying it's a good time to listen. I feel like this is saying like, don't tell the wrong story to yourself. You always get these cards about the story you tell. You have the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is like everything you want and desire in your life. So I do feel for a lot of you that there could be a lot of like big good things coming in for you. You get the Ten of Pentacles with me a lot because Uranus has been in your sign. And, Uranus will be leaving on the 7th. So it'll be entering into Gemini on Monday, the 7th. And, but I think this is a good thing for you. As I always say, the major planets, it's like when a major planet is going through a sign, or the bigger planets, when it's going through a sign, it's like we're learning a lesson. After it leaves, then we're actually implementing what we learned. So a lot of you could be kind of like putting the work into, what you have learned with Uranus in your sign. And I feel you are probably creating more security. This is like definitely going to be the rest of your life until you're dead, Taurus. So, it's just like a long-term theme for your life. I feel like it's good. Ten of Pentacles is amazing. Ten of Pentacles is like very positive. So I definitely don't feel like it's a bad thing that you are working on these things, right? With the Page of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, Eight of Pentacles, straightforward, diligent work. Again, if this is a person coming in for you, I always say, I really like the Eight of Pentacles for love because it's a person who wants to put the work in. But the Eight of Pentacles, it has to be like a person, it's obvious, right? The Eight of Pentacles is obvious. So if you're meeting, like let's say you're dating and you're meeting a few people, it's like it will be obvious which person puts in the work and which person is lazy, right? And I would just pay attention to that. I also really like this reading for money, obviously, Taurus. There's like some sort of, like I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not going to happen overnight, but, there definitely is like some sort of upgrade in your finances. And I think it's connected to something that you've always wanted to do. And it's weird that, like, again, it's like you have the elements right is really what's popping into my head. It's just like, maybe the pieces need to be shifted around. Even next, with the Page of Swords, you have the Tower. Again, don't panic. The whole entire reading is very positive. I always say, anytime I have a good reading and the Tower comes up, people are like, oh, how can you say this is good? The Tower showed up. I'm always like, it's one freaking card. One card does not make the reading, number one. Number two, stop being a paranoid freak. Number three, the Tower isn't a bad card in the first place. The Tower is necessary. All cards are necessary. It's the whole point of life is that we go through the major arcana, follow the Fool's journey, and we're just always experiencing these things over and over and over again. And if we learn from it and learn how to work with it, then we will be successful. If we are leaving comments on videos talking about how bad the Tower is, then we're stuck, right? So the Tower is a shock to the system. The Tower can be coming down to reality. That's what I think this is like needing to see reality for what it is. Again, I was saying that you have like the pieces of something right, but it's like maybe they need to be shifted around, or maybe you need to face the reality that like I'm just playing around when I say maybe you wanted to be famous. It's like maybe you are facing the reality that you can't be famous on TV, but why would you want to anyway? Hollywood is being exposed as a bunch of creeps, right? So it's like, why would you want to do that anyway? It's like you can do it in a better way. And, that's kind of what that's saying. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. Yeah, you've been very patient for the Ten of Pentacles, of course. I feel like you've developed a lot of inner strength. But what I'm hearing here is that it's like now it's time to use that inner strength. Like, I feel like you've learned a lot of lessons over the, since like 2008, probably for you, Taurus, specifically. Most signs it's like 2012, but for like Taurus, Pisces, Capricorn, and maybe like Libra, I think it's been since 2008 for those signs. But, what I would say here is I think you've been very strong, but now it's like time to use it or show the world how strong you are. I think that would be very beneficial. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this ears wide open card and this tall tale card. Yeah, like, it's kind of obvious. During the month of July, in the July monthly readings, like, everybody had the devil. And so I would definitely be careful of anything. Like, if you feel like someone's story that they're telling you isn't true, then you're probably right? And I wouldn't even chance it. So I would be careful of any tall tales that people are telling you. And sorry, this isn't, like, in the wrong spot here. So I would be careful of that. Also, I think you need to be careful of the stories you're telling yourself. Like, I think you need to, which is a major theme for you, Taurus, and has been for a while. So I feel like you need to make sure you're telling yourself the story you want to hear, about your own life. And, that's going to be important as well. I also feel that you need to pay attention to what is not being said, and that's what I would do with that ears wide open card. You have the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is very good for making more money. I think you have a lot of ideas that, could make a lot of money. I think you have a lot of ideas in your head where it's almost like, I don't want to say that the universe is saying prove it, but you know how there's the old cliche, be the change you want to see in the world, right? It's like, that's kind of the energy I have here. The best way I can describe it is like, I feel like you have ideas, just in general, right? Like everybody else. And I think it's time for you to like start living those ideas, because I literally think it could make you money. It's like, maybe you have ideas that could turn into businesses, or ideas that could turn into you like teaching people how to do something or whatever. And I feel like it's as simple as just doing it with the Queen of Pentacles. So that's what I see there. As always here, Taurus, I feel there is a lot of speed opportunity for you. It seems to me like your life is like Mario Kart, if you've ever played that game. And if you've ever played Mario Kart, the video game, there are parts where you can drive your cart over where you speed up when you hit them, right? And it's like there are these little boost opportunities for you. And I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, so I don't know. Enjoy it, right? You have the Nine of Wands. Yes, definitely a good week. And, okay. Hold on. This is a brand new deck, so it is just flat to the table. I can't even grab it. But you have the Nine of Wands. I think this is saying, like, if you feel like you should put boundaries up against a person, a place, or a thing, definitely, again, everybody had the devil in the monthly July readings, and most of the people in the next 3-month readings also had this card, had the devil. So I think it's a great time to put up boundaries. The Nine of Wands is a card of kind of my card of experimentation. It's like my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So it might be an amazing time for you to like experiment more in life, and that's what I would do there with that card. Next, you have the Knight of Pentacles. It is weird as well that a lot of people have had the Knight of Pentacles this week. Not just this week, but also July and the next 3-month readings. And so I think people could be making a lot of progress. I said it at the beginning of the year as well, that I felt like, starting in June, that things would kind of speed up and get faster. And I pretty much haven't been wrong. And, but part of me wonders, like, if you asked me at the beginning of the year why I thought that would be, I would have probably told you, well, the astrology is changing and we're getting past 6 months of retrogrades that we had since November till March, basically. Really until like May, really after all the shadows and everything were over, for a very long ass time. And so it's like, I would have told you that. But now I feel different. Like since last month, I kind of feel that maybe really what's going on is people are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they're just like making changes. They're just doing it anyway, right? They're just kind of making things happen. And that's kind of the feeling I get on this Knight of Pentacles energy. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Knight of Cups. Yes, I'm telling you right now, definitely a person coming in for you. Definitely a knight in shining armor. I really feel some of you aren't looking for love, and you're going to find it. And I'm not telling you what to do, but, it's like sometimes, I don't know. It's like you can say sometimes a person just looks right, and you just, even if you're not looking for love, you might just give it a chance, right? So, I don't know. Some of you, of course, are going to say that you're not going to have love. That's fine. Go be lonely. That's fine with me. I don't care. But, for the rest of you, this definitely could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Justice card. I literally said Libra. I might have accidentally called you Libra on the Queen of Pentacles now that I think about it, but I think I said Libra earlier when I was talking about the signs that have been dealing with something since 2008. So there's definitely, some of you could be a Libra that you're attracting. The Justice card is balance, doing things in balance. The funny thing is, I feel like you need to not do things in balance. It's almost like saying, maybe playing it too safe is the thing that is preventing things from working. So it might be a good time to take slightly bigger risks. I don't think you have to go crazy, but if you're like trying to make something happen, it might be worth it to give something like a longer, better investment. I feel like I say this to you all the time now that I say it, Taurus. Like I'm always telling you about my 90-day rule, right? And so sorry that I'm repeating myself, but also not sorry because people need to hear it. Every 90 days I run experiments in my life and I run them for the full 90 days. Like 90 days is a good amount of time to give something where if it's going to work, it's going to work. If it's not going to work, it's not going to work, right? And I don't make any assumptions. So even after 60 days, if something doesn't seem like it's working, I go the whole 90 days because you never know, right? And so sometimes some things just take a while to see progress. And that's really what I'd be paying attention to anything, based off of anything you're working on. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Hangman. The Hangman can represent being stuck in Hangman mode. He's in Hangman mode, but his head is glowing. He's gained enlightenment. We see a ton of enlightenment here. With the Death card, we have the Sun coming up between the two pillars that are on the Moon card, and we also have the Sun. So a lot of you could be getting a lot of answers in life, or you could be getting a lot of guidance, but this is more like, answers that you're discovering, Page of Swords. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Reflect card and this Relax card. Yeah, I feel it's time to reflect on like what you want in life. And I feel it's time to reflect on all the things that you've been trying to accomplish and how far you've come. I do think that people, like everybody needs to relax right now. I think there's like a lot of fear and worry about the future and where things are going. And I do feel people need to kind of like do things to calm down. You have the Four of Cups, the Death card, and the Sun. The Four of Cups can say that you're disappointed with what you've received in life so far. I feel like a lot of people are. It's like he has tried to manifest something 3 times, and now he's being offered this new cup, but he's not accepting it because he's been disappointed too many times before. So I feel in a lot of ways this is saying that you need to accept something new in your life because it won't be a disappointment. You have to apply these lessons to this new situation, and that's what I would do there with that card. Next, if I can get it, which I can't, you have the Death card. The Death card can be a big change coming in for you here. And so some of you could be experiencing a change or, something new coming, or like a transition. I do feel like this is enlightenment. Again, these are the 2 pillars from the Moon, and the Sun is coming up between those 2 pillars. So you could be getting a lot of answers. For a lot of you, it's like we have this Pope-looking guy here, kind of looks like the Hierophant. And he is begging for his life on the Death card. And on the Death card, it just represents the fact that, sometimes certain beliefs we have to let go of, or sometimes certain beliefs, like, don't last forever. And we have to, like, let them go, right? And so for some of you, this could be, like, some beliefs that you are releasing or have to release or have had to release in your life with the Death card. But it could also be, like, what you have been trying to become. You have the Sun. So the Sun is the best card in the deck. Definitely could be a lot of happiness and joy coming in for you. The Sun is also ease. Things happening more easily for you, or things happening in a better way. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be like a lot more ease coming in for you. A lot of blessings coming in for you as well. So, if you're hoping for blessings, it's kind of like, really that's all I'm getting here is that the Sun is shining on you. I feel like there could be a lot of positive attention coming in for you there as well. Can't make this up. With the Four of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. Yes. Like I said, it's almost like you're resisting it a little bit here if this is love, Taurus, but like literally could be marriage. So again, not telling you what to do. If you genuinely don't want love, that's fine. You could just be committing to something else. Even if you do want love, I feel that a lot of you are committing to like the dream. You're committing to becoming famous. Maybe not literally here, Taurus, but it's like you're committing to something that you've wanted to do since you were a child, or maybe for a very long period of time. And so again, the Four of Wands can just be a solid commitment in general. For some of you, it clearly is love. With the Death card, you have the Knight of Swords. No assumptions at this time. Knight of Swords is like rushing energy. He is forcing this horse to run. I always say that horse looks very stressed out because he is stressing it out. The Knight of Swords says, do not jump to conclusions on anything. We are definitely in a time where we should not make assumptions about things because we are definitely going to be wrong. You can say that is always true. They say, if you assume things, you make an ass out of you and me, right? Which I also don't think is true. I think that, that's basically reductionism. When people who use cliches like that, like say, oh, make an ass out of you and me, there are plenty of assumptions that I've made that have been 100% correct. That's true for everyone. So it's not always true. But what I would say here is that we are in a time where we really have to look at the evidence, and justice definitely says that. So like, before you do anything, before you commit to anything, before you give up on something, really look at the evidence with the Justice card. And it is popping into my head, including giving up on something. Again, I come from the business world. I've worked with a lot of businesses and things, and I cannot tell you how many people I've worked with, even with my YouTube group, right, that I've been working with for over a year now. There are so many times where they will, people will think something isn't working, but it's like literally working the best. So we have to look at the evidence. And again, I'm guilty of this as well. Like, I'm far from freaking perfect. I need outside eyes as well to tell me what I'm missing, right? So it's like sometimes we just need outside, perspectives to help us. And, you have the Hangman, which is a card of perspective. So before you give up on something, maybe you need to get an outside perspective. Could be like a friend, a family member, something like that. And with the Sun, you have the Empress. Yeah, tons of abundance, and you showing up here, which is great. I'm pretty sure you have been showing up as the Empress recently. I'm pretty sure in the last reading I did for you, you showed up as the Empress. So could be a ton of abundance. You really could be standing out at this time as well here, Taurus, which is great. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this card that says deeply rooted in love. It says something is emerging from the depths of your most intimate desires. Yes, definitely. I don't think this card is talking about love. I think it's talking about the energy of love, something that you will love, which is good. You have this web of creation. It says, be aware of what you are weaving in your life to create better experiences. I don't know what it is with you and spiders, but you always get spider cards with me, like every single reading that I do for you. So that's pretty interesting, I think. But definitely, I think, paying attention to the story you tell yourself is going to be important. You have the Three of Cups, Three of Pentacles, and the King of Swords. Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles, of course, is teamwork. The Three of Cups, these people are celebrating a harvest. So I feel for a lot of you that there is a harvest coming in for you as well. The other thing that I'm hearing here, like more intuitively, is that, like, I think that some of you need to understand, like, steps that you're taking. Like, do I have a good example for you? No. So bear with me. But what I'm saying is, it's like, let's say you want to start a business, and you might need to make $1,000 a day. Like, let's say that's your goal, right? It's like, I feel that obviously it's like it's going to happen in steps. It's like you're going to have to get to a point where you're just making that first $1 a day, right? And I feel like for whatever reason, it's popping in my head that you need to not, like, don't think that those steps mean that something isn't working. Like, if you're making $1 a day, it's like that doesn't mean that you're not going to get to that $1,000 a day. I don't know. There's like something popping into my head here about undervaluing something, like a step that you're taking. This could be in love as well, or any other area of your life as well. It's like you might think, I don't know. It's like sometimes I think if we're used to traumatic relationships and we get into a good relationship, but, maybe someone does something where it's not like exactly the same as what a past person did to us, but it's similar. Like maybe they don't respond immediately to our freaking text messages. We freak out. And I feel like this is saying, like, don't assume that the person doesn't like you. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they don't have all day to text you, but that doesn't mean they're a bad person, right? And I don't know, there's something about, like, these steps that you're going to have to go through. And some of them might trigger you a little bit, but I would, like, look at them, even though it's showing up in the good stuff. You have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, every single reading I do for you says it's time to put your work on display. I haven't done Virgo yet, but I have a very strong sneaking suspicion that Virgo is probably going to get the same thing in their reading. If you have Virgo in your chart, then I would definitely check out Virgo's reading, but I think that it's time for Earth signs to shine. It's like time for Earth signs to, put their work out into the world and to get credit, for the work that they have done. You have the King of Swords. King of Swords, of course, is knowledge and wisdom. I kind of feel you could be attracting a very mature person with a lot of knowledge and wisdom, but I also feel like it's like you are the mature person that has the knowledge and wisdom. I feel like you have matured a lot, even if you're like 18, I feel you have matured a lot. I feel like you have grown quite a bit. So, a lot of you, I kind of feel this card here should be giving you confidence, because I feel like it's saying that you have the maturity, or you have the knowledge and wisdom to make something very successful in your life. Here you go. With the Three of Cups, you have the Page of Cups. Everybody's meeting people with people. It's just, it is what it is. We have to socialize right now. We have to get out of the house and go do things if we want to find love. So I would get out of the house. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Hermit. You cannot freaking make that up. I literally said Virgo on that card. You cannot make that up. And there you go. So I don't know. It popped into my head for some reason that I felt like I needed to say it, so I did. Something about Virgo. So there's like something about Virgo energy here or like dealing with Virgo energy. And I haven't even done the Virgo reading yet, so I'm going to do it after this one. But maybe you should watch it here. It could be important. But the Hermit is hiding the star in his lantern, and he needs to shine it out all over the place. Three of Pentacles is about putting your work on display. So again, it could be time to shine something out into the world. With the King of Swords, you have the Eight of Cups. It's like, could be another sign of maturity, really. He is walking away from things that no longer serve him. So a lot of you could be walking away from past things that once did fulfill you, but don't any longer. He is walking away from those 8 cups there. And so, again, maybe you are walking away from something that once served you, but doesn't any longer. You have this Vine card that says, seek out information that will help you. Tower, Page of Swords. The thing about the Page of Swords and the Tower is this could be uncomfortable information in some ways. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's like sometimes I think we learn something where we realize we have to go back to the drawing board, or maybe we have to start over, or maybe we have to redo some work. But I think Mercury retrograde, Mercury will go retrograde on the 17th until August 12th. Mercury retrograde is the best time to redo things and to touch things up and to, go back over things. And it's like, I'll tell you, like, I've done a crazy amount of work over the last year. And on one of my other businesses, and it's like literally I am taking this retrograde I'm not redoing it, I'm touching a bunch of stuff up, right? Because I think this retrograde in particular is going to be very good for just touch-up work, where it's like you make things more attractive, especially if you have a business, but pretty much anything. You have this Kangaroo. It says, unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yes, I've been talking about this for years, so I don't know. We're in a time of chaos till 2033. We're going to see crazy things in the world. And, you have the Tower. You have the Knight of Swords. Tower and Knight of Swords is someone coming in and screaming that the sky is falling. There are going to be tons of things that people are going to tell you that you have to worry about. And they're going to say, if you don't worry about all these things, you're a horrible person. And again, so I would be very careful of that because those people are going to get nowhere. And, other than they're just going to be known for screaming that the sky is falling. I'm not saying that we shouldn't care about these things and or anything like that. But what I am saying is we have to live our lives and we have to work on things that we can control. And the other thing is we've been doing this for a very long time as humans, like where we just freak out about everything and it gets in the news and everybody, freaks out about every little thing in the news. And I don't know, really hasn't been working too well, if you ask me. So I think we need to go the opposite direction. We need to bring more love, joy, and peace into the world. Believe it or not, someone tried to cancel me over this on Twitter because I said that, believe it or not. But Empress, Sun, so there you go. You have this Mule card. It says someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Yes, I would be careful. We have this retrograde is happening in Leo where Mars went retrograde. And so I would be careful of stubborn people in general. You have this October card and this tulip. It says great passion on it. This could be love coming in between now and October. It could also say that you're developing passion. I think that's something, I hear that a lot from people where they say I don't know what to do or I'm not passionate about anything. It's like, well, passion has to be developed. It's like you're which is probably true. It's like, yeah, maybe you aren't passionate about something, but you have to develop a passion. You become passionate about something over time, right? You fall in love with something that you're working on. And there you go. You have this ant card that says work, achievement, success. Yeah, I like this card because ants can lift many times their body weight. And so sometimes I always think of this ant card as you are working on things that you can do better than anyone else. And that's definitely what I would be working on here. Pretty interesting reading here, Taurus, I gotta say. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.